Hello again. We continue on the road through the life path numbers. If you want to know how to figure out your life path number, I explained that in my first video. So I highly encourage you to at least look at the inscription or look at the first a few minutes of that video for life path number 1 because I explain it there. Or if you don't want to, then you have to figure this out on the internet, of course, or you can always ask ChatGPT AI to find this number for you. Now we have come to the last of the 9 regular life path numbers. This means that we have reached number 9. The number 9 is the visionary. It's the idealist. It's the philanthropist. So yeah, maybe you have a vision about something. Maybe with idealist, I feel maybe you're working for humanitarian companies fighting against environment crimes or fighting for human rights, fighting against poverty, yeah, you name it. So, of course, activists, Greenpeace, that is a career choice. Social worker, professor, teacher, writer, music. We have lawyers here too. Maybe you are a lawyer for human rights. And of course, politicians. Maybe a little controversial. Maybe you are within a controversial party. Yeah, fighting for social rights for people. So let's see, what is the message for the visionary, the idealist, and the philanthrop? So let's see, what is the message for life path number 9, the visionary? Let's see. Oh, here we have to cover this up, unfortunately. So yeah, be a channel. And of course you are a channel if you are an activist. You are a clear channel because you are the link between whatever this is, human rights, animal rights, whatever type of rights this is. You are, of course, the one who speaks up about this unjust event. And of course, maybe you write. It was a period of time. I'm thinking especially about Bob Dylan. He wrote a lot of protest songs during the Vietnam War, but among things that has that we can still use these type of songs today because they are still meaningful, because the world is still in war. So whatever he channeled at that point of time, it still works. So whatever this is, if you are a poet, or you are a musician, or you are literally an activist who protests against protest to get human rights back, and or animal rights, whatever this is, fighting for. I was also thinking about we all we all have maybe a difficult feeling when it comes to this person, but you know, Greta Thunberg, she was the one who made maybe the younger generation more focused upon climate issues. So I'm not going to discuss if it's right or wrong whatever she is talking about, but she has right to the point that we have a responsibility to take care of planet Earth more than maybe we have done previously. So I agree with her in that point. So with that said, be a channel, soaring into joy, childlike wonders filled my life. Yeah. Maybe this is, maybe you have always been an activist, like Greta Thunberg. The story about her was that she was sitting in front of the government building in silent protest against the Swedish government, and the story is that suddenly someone stopped and asked her why he had spotted her sitting there hour after hour, and he suddenly stopped and asked her why are you sitting here, and then she got interviewed on at that point of time a very potent talk show called Skavlan, and Skavlan is a person, Fredrik Skavlan is a person who is from my home country, but he lives now in Sweden. And at that point of time he was working for the Swedish television, and she was interviewed in that talk show, and then the ball started to run, of course. But behind the scenes, of course, she wasn't a regular activist. She wasn't just a regular teenage child or a child as she has been presented. Her mother has written a book about this climate change, amongst things, because it's way of living. It's no type of religion, but it is a philosophy. It's a philosophy of how we should live, right? Like reuse of clothes, and that is of course something I agree totally with. And but we can't, we of course have to be, that is my personal opinion, we of course have to be concerned about the development, with the development of not reusing or recycling things that we already have. We are unfortunately still in this energy that we buy something new all the time, and that is why garbage is piling up, because we don't recycle. We have come a long way with recycle, yes, but we have still a long way to go, especially with recycling electronic devices. But maybe with this card, what I was actually going to say is that maybe you have been an activist as Greta Thunberg from childhood, You know, you have always been fighting for whatever you have believed has been the truth, and you have always had a strong sense of what is right and what is wrong. But maybe that is, of course, the negative attributes with this life path, that you have maybe unrealistic ideals, that it's good to have ideals, don't get me wrong, but we can't have ideals that how can I put it? It was difficult to explain it. Well, I will think about it, so it doesn't come out in the wrong way. But yeah, ideals is good to have, but of course some ideals. This is because you have to. People are difficult to change. And of course, people like new things. When you have seen, for example, Black Friday is a good example of the, the hyping of the materialistic world. And people, I have watched videos, people go insane to just buy cheap, especially electronics, and also maybe clothes from special brands that yeah, are just a few dollars cheaper than normal. Of course, maybe sometimes you can do a coupe, but it's not, it's actually a fraud. So it's believing you that this is good quality products. Yeah, it's cheap as H, but yeah, it's actually a fraud. Yeah, and that is where maybe when you feel the burnout, you are like the child. You know, you have like this imaginary utopic world inside your head, how you wish that each and every one wants to should live. But yeah, but keep on working on this. Okay, awakening ancient wisdom, deep inner knowing is emerging within me. So yeah, this is the ideal, maybe, and this is the philanthropist within yourself. Maybe this is something that you have worked. I've tried to function in previous lifetimes. I don't know, because it's deep, and it's deep anchored within yourself. And when I think about human rights, right, especially human rights, and of course also animal rights, but I speak for the humanity now. And we can't we don't have to walk very far in time when the rights for especially for workers, and still is very poorly. Of course, in my home country and many developed countries, we have of course worked with the rights for humanity, especially for workers. You know, how many hours of labor, how many hours of rest, the salary, of course, sick leave, etc., etc. But we know that even developed countries, especially in the US, rights for workers are are extremely poor. You don't have much rights as a worker in the US, unfortunately. So yeah, maybe this is something that you have worked for some lifetimes. I don't know. Yeah, of course, the idealist have to have the Ace of Cups. You do this because you soul-heartedly believe it. When you believe in whatever you are channeling, whatever you are protesting, whatever you, especially if you are a musician, the lyrics come to you, and whatever you are singing about, writing about, is of course a channel, maybe from your higher self, or maybe you feel that it is messages from God. I don't know. but yeah, but you believe it soul-heartedly. So, messages for life path number 9. So one other thing is, of course, you have to be aware of burnout, and Greta Thunberg, she had a burnout. Now she had, of course, this diagnosis of hers. She has Asperger diagnosis, and of course, when you have some kind of dysfunction like that, you will of course feel it more crucial. But even though you don't have a diagnosis like that or not, the danger of burnout, because you feel always that you are meeting persons with closed mind, right? If you are the one who are soul-heartedly believing in whatever this is you are working towards, and you always feel that you meet closed doors, of course you eventually will feel a burnout in some point of time. And the other thing is that it's difficult for you to let go of this when you have put your mind into it. So maybe it's something for you to work towards, to find new approach for this vision of yours, so you don't get burnout. Yeah, judgment. Maybe this is first, maybe you judge others because they don't see from the same point of view as yourself. Maybe you first start to judge others because of their narrow-minded approach to life, and then when you start to and then you start to feel the burnout. But it's for you, as I said before I showed you this card, it's for you to work towards letting go and finding a new approach. How can you make people listen without they feeling provoked? 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yes, you have to you have to collaborate with people, not against people. People don't have to, you don't like to be told what to think, what to feel, what to mean. So this is also a challenge for you. You have to work and collaborate, so you get the people with you in your vision, see it from your wonderful point of view, right? Just to talk about this shining bright planet. Yeah, maybe you should work with people like me, born in life path number 9, no, number 3, because we are the communicator. We live in work maybe in public relations, you know. So you need help from others to channel this. You need help from others to promote this vision of yours. And people don't like to be told what to do, what to feel, what to think, because that is the feeling of dictatorship. You have to work with the people, not against the people. And the last one, Page of Cups. Yeah, passion project. You do it, as I said, with from your heart, and because you are naive, maybe. You have this utopic sense of illusion of how the world should maybe be, but you have to, as I said, I don't like to repeat myself, but if you want to live in a more utopic and beautiful earth, first of all, you have to have the people with you, not against you. And you are maybe like this child. We have this childlike wonder filled my life. You have this childlike mind still throughout your entire life. You have this childlike mind. Yeah. And the moon, yeah, sensitive. You are extremely emotional sensitive. Maybe that you see that as a weakness, because when you don't feel that, and that is Greta Thunberg, she had a burnout, and she disappeared from the spotlight for quite some time, and of course that was to reinvent herself, because she got so much bad things, bad talk against her, especially after she talked in the UN about the climate changes and her point of view, and people were saying, oh, she looked weird, and but already then she was in this burnout, and she didn't believe in herself because she had met so much resistance. So don't get into this state of mind that you feel that this vision of yours, this idealist of yours, is a sinking boat. It's a sinking ship. Just keep on believing, and take the time out when you feel that you have so much going on, and maybe you feel that you have so many people not understand you and fighting against you. Take a pause and stop and rewire, and come back again when you feel that your energy is rejuvenated. Yes, so that was the message for those of you who have life path number 9. I wish you all the best for the future ahead, and I thank you so much for watching this video. Bye for now.